How are you today?
Fine, the sun came out. The sun came out today. It's a beautiful
Oh,
day
nice.
here. Yes. And how it is today in Minnesota?
It's it's very cloudy. It's probably going to rain later today.
And how is the temperature?
It's um it's above freezing, so that's good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to share before we start?
Um, no, I think it'd be good to get rolling with whatever you got.
Okay, so do we have an access to the whiteboard, the concept board? Do you see the concept board at the moment? You see
Yes,
this
I
on
do.
YouTube, or how do you see this? Like firsthand or through YouTube? What is your hello to our YouTube listeners? Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm very happy to see you here. Yes, Jeff, what would you like to start with?
Um, yeah, I've got whoops,
Yeah.
trying to mute okay. Yeah, I've got YouTube and the whiteboard.
Yes. And what would you like? Here is Victoria. Shabbat Shalom. Hello, Victoria. Nice to see you here. Lilies of the field. Hello, hello, Victoria. Nice to see you here. So,
Shabbat shalom.
thank you. And what would you like to start with? With a painting from the book, with a description of the page of the book, or with a verse? Also, Victoria, you can decide with what to start.
Yeah.
Victoria, with the verse, with the painting on the left, which is like focusing on one item, or with the page from the book. Victoria, since you are every day here, we give you the choice to start with the verse, the painting on the left, or the page from the book. What would you like to start with, Victoria? Because there's a delay on YouTube, so Victoria will listen to us in one moment or two, and then she could decide with what to start. I just would like to say in generally what do we have here on the whiteboard or the concept board. I will enlarge the scope that everybody could see, like close. We have here a page from a book. This is the page. Victoria, I think I love the verse. Very good, Victoria. So we shall start with the verse. But first, let's just say general. This is a page from a book from the 15th century. This is the page. And on the left, we have one item here, which appears here on the bottom left. We just snip, how do you say? We make a little snipping, and it appears as a detail, and we can focus also on the painting itself, and then there's beautiful description. But let's start with a verse first. So, Jeff, would you like to read for us the verse?
Yeah, if I can see it.
Yes, I can make it bigger. I mean, here, everybody. I try to see if it's clear also on YouTube, because there's a bit of like millimeter difference between what I see and what the frames show, the blue frames. I move it a bit. That, let's see. Yeah. Is it better? You can see the English better, Jeff?
Um, I'm having a little trouble. Um,
Okay.
it's got now Esau, or excuse me, now Isaac loved Esau because of his venison, and Rachel loved Jacob.
Yes. Yes. Let's try to see what is behind this quality of loving Isaac. Loving the love of Isaac to Esau, or why Isaac loved Esau. The Hebrew says here, I read a bit in Hebrew and then I will go into it. Vayehav Yitzchak et Esav ki tzayid befiv. And I will translate it literally to English, very simple English. And Isaac loved Esau because he has the hunt in his mouth. Good morning, Rodrigo. I hope you can hear us. I'm glad you could join us this morning. And Fernando is here. Good morning, Fernando. Shabbat Shalom. And Anaya is here. I hope that I pronounced your name right.
Hi, Etty. It's Anaya.
Anaya?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate the fact that you could come here this morning.
I know, me too. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Greetings, Anaya.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Do you remember you were conversing each other, Jeff and Anaya, from Portland?
Yes.
From Portland, Oregon, and Mankato, Minnesota. Yeah, we have a connection. Thank you so much. And Rodrigo, I'm glad you could come. Good morning. I'm very glad that you are here. Would you like to read the verse in Hebrew for us? Just few words in Hebrew. Would you like to do that?
Oh, Etty.
7 words, 7 words. You know to read Hebrew, 7 words. Would you? Yes.
Vayahav.
Yes.
Yitzchak.
Yes.
Eshav.
Yes.
Eshav. Ki. Decide. Befim.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Yes, and Isaac loved Esau because he has the hunt in his mouth. What kind of a structure do we have here? Let's go into the abstract and see what is happening. I just do this fast, not to to get us into a lot of mathematics. Ki tzayid befiv, because he has the hunt in his mouth, has the value of 232. Would you like us to do the mathematics together, or you believe in the calculation? What is your choice? Rodrigo, what is your choice?
I just check in my mind. Yes, I believe it's right, Etty.
Let's do it together. Because he... Yes?
Kaf is 20, Yod is 10, Sadik is 90, Yod is 10, Dalet is 4, Bet is 2, Fe it's 80, Yod it's 10, and then we get Avav, which is 6.
Yes. So we have 98, 104, and 30. So here we have 2. Yes?
Yes. And 3.
Yes. And 2.
Yes.
232, because he has the hunt in his mouth. What does this number remind us? Maybe I will help a bit. If we add 1 to it, what do we get?
The tree of life.
The tree of life. 233 is the value of the tree of life. Etz HaChaim, tree of life. Now, let's change the words, or instead of reading because he has the hand in his mouth, we can say now, and Isaac loved Esau because, or tree of life. Do you understand the relation between them? Why does he love him? What is the relation of qualities, I would say? It's not the relation of qualities. Another angle that we can take mathematically is that we take the value of tree of life, which is 233, minus 208. 208 is Isaac, Yitzchak. And what do we get?
25.
25. What is 25, or what is the root of 25?
5.
5. What does 5 usually symbolize in our conversations? And this is an open question to everyone. Please participate. Jeff, Fernando, if you can, Anea.
Shabbat, hello.
Shalom,
Can
Shabbat.
you hear me?
Yes, Shabbat Shalom, Fernando.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Jeff, Eti, Anaya, and Rodrigo. I'm happy to be here. And Rosh Chodesh Sameach as well.
Thank
Great
you.
month of Adar to everyone. The month of happiness.
Yes, thank you.
And Eti, I'm very, very happy to be here and I can hear you. And it is beautiful to think that sometimes we read the Bible story in the literal form, and it seems that it doesn't make sense, why Isaac loves Esau, that was the hunter, was the old man, let's say, the Nefesh. But when we look through the mathematics, we can see that what Isaac was looking for was the tree of life. And in this very moment, even this negative aspect of Esau was resembling the tree of life in an equivalence of form, right?
Yes.
And I was reading a little bit about this month of Adar, that it's just beginning. We are in the head of the month.
Yes.
And reading about happiness. And it's interesting because we have the Purim this month, right?
Yes.
And in Purim, the good and the bad are mixed. You do not know what is good and bad. Everything is mixed like in the world to come, where there is no good and bad,
Yes.
So what I'm just trying to connect all of these things that are in my head and in my heart is that even what seems bad in our lives, what seems like a hunter or something that bring us down, like this Esau, in fact, if we've seen a broader perspective, could be the tree of life.
Yes.
Maybe it's a way to look at these mathematics. I don't know.
Yes, it's great what you say.
I think with the 5, you're getting at the temple.
Yes.
Perspective.
Yes, that's true. This is this is the perspective, the full hand perspective. Excellent. This is it. This is the 5. Because you remember in Weinreich, he was saying that the square of the promised land was the measures 400 by 400, but the temple is 500 by 500. So the question, how can it be that the temple is bigger than the land?
Right.
And what did we say? That the potential is always what?
Bigger. the potential to give is always bigger than what we have.
Yes. The potential, yes, is always bigger than what we have as a manifestation at the moment. Because what we want to give comes from the source, because the source is giving. So
Right, and after all, the temple represents all that's beyond time and space. It's unlimited, really.
Yes, yes. The temple
And the land of Canaan and the promised land is limited by time.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, Fernando was introducing the months of Adar and Purim and the season of Carnival, with not what it seems to us usually right and wrong. Now everything gets opposite, and I would like us, before we go into look into this beautiful painting, there is a description on Google Museum here. Who would like to read the English description under the page of the book from the 15th century? Who can read, please? Do you see who is volunteering to read it?
You make it just a little bigger?
Yes. Is it better?
Yes,
Please. And this is connected to, now what is written here is also connecting to Christianity, of course, to Purim, to Carnival all over the world. Please read.
All right. Elderly and bedridden, the Old Testament patriarch Isaac directs his eldest son Esau to hunt for venison. Isaac promises to give Esau his final blessing when he returns with the meal, but Esau's brother Jacob arrives first, dressed as a hunter, and steals the blessing. The biblical story from the book of Genesis that inspired this scene and the chart that follows on this page are read and sung during the Christian penitential season of Lent. The figures, brightly colored garments, and the delicate gold highlights on the trees and grass are characteristic of Franco de Russi's manuscript Illumination.
Thank you. You see here in the page, I will move a bit the cursor and the painting here. What we see here is not just a page that says, describes it's in Latin, but we see the chant, how to, do you see the dots or the square marks between the lines here?
Yes.
Yes, it's how to sing it. It is how to, and this is interesting. I find it very, very interesting, because Fernando was mentioning that in Purim, everything changes. On the Carnival, what we think is a bad in terms of hunting, it opposites itself on us. And what we think that is A, it becomes B, and all reality comes in a different order and shape. And just to give us another perspective about Esau and why Isaac loved Esau. The value of Esau, Esav in Hebrew, Esav, this is Esau, is 376. Check me, please check me. Rodrigo, Fernando, you sit with the numbers and please feel free to check me. Yes, 376.
No, it's yes.
Yes. Now, interesting word in Hebrew, shalom. What is shalom in Hebrew?
Peace.
Peace. What is the value of peace? 330.
70.
Yes. 376. So now there's another reason for Isaac to love Esau. He loves peace. In the tree of life there is peace. It's not duality. This is why the sages say that the head of Esau is holy. The head, please pay attention, the head of Esau is holy. If we take the head as peace, yes, for instance, or the head of Esau, or the Bible says because he has a hunt in his mouth, and the mouth is the center of the face, and the value of this verse is 233, tree of life. So the head of Esau is holy because it's the one, not the four. The body expands into the four, but the head of Esau is holy. Yes. So Victoria is writing, so interesting, Etty. What we think is A becomes B. This is so complex. I would do love to understand that concept one day. Yes, it's not what we think. This is what Fernando said. Yes, would you like to say something? Rodrigo, Fernando, Jeff, Anea?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead. Is it Rodrigo?
No, please, Jeff, go
Oh,
ahead.
Fernando.
Talk later, please.
Hi, Fernando.
Hello, my friend. So good to hear you, Jeff.
Yeah, you too, my friend. Yeah, I mean, on the surface with this story, I think, at least my impression is that Isaac loves Esau simply because he likes the benefits, of here's my son that goes out and gets venison for me, and I love to eat venison, and we connect on that. That would be the I guess material level of things and view of things, and kind of like he's a good manly son kind of a thing. So that would be my first impression. But as you dive into the names and the numbers, Eddie, then we get this impression about the tree of life and peace, and that's something that never occurs to our thinking until you get into the numerical value there, and then we see the connection on a hidden level, on a different level like that. And of course, peace is beautiful, and the tree of life, of course, that's telling us that there's something eternal involved in this relationship. It's not just a temporal or a limited relationship that would only be for the duration of the 400 or time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Fernando.
It
Yes.
it's just like what Jeff said, because I read I think it was Luria, I was reading some text, and he was mentioning that the Sitracha, let's say the other side, the bad, the evil, it is just like the good, but without the Aleph, without the one, without the head, without the crown.
Yes.
Just like what you said. So when Esau has the crown, when Esau is connected with the one, he is shalom, he is peace. He is good as the tree of life. But when he is not connected with the one, he is just the four, he is just the manifestation, and he's bad.
Yes.
Maybe it's a way to approach to this topic that came to my mind.
That's good. That's good. Yes. Yes, he has a potential. He has the potential. We have, if we, it's great what you said now. If is with the one, because let us remember their father. Let's make a little drawing here of the father and the son. We have Isaac. I have to write it in Hebrew because it comes with numbers, and excuse me, I will focus because it has relations, abstract relations. Yitzchak is the father. He's the father. Isaac, he's the father. The value of Isaac is 208. When Isaac was binded, excuse me if I don't pronounce grammatically right, the binding of Isaac. So what happened in this sacrificing, so to speak, of Isaac? What happened in his binding? There was 1 to 4, meaning his father, by how do you say, connected his arms and leg in one. Once we saw this with the crown of the Torah. 1 second, is a pen. So his head was the potential of Isaac was saved, but his arms and legs were binded. This is what happened in the binding. In a way, what Abraham did already formed the relation of the coming generations. Now, Isaac has 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. This is Esau. This is Jacob. They're twins. They have the same father. But since Isaac was treated to preserve his potential, this is what Abraham did. By binding, I'm not sure. It's good to say by binding. It's correct grammatically.
I guess you could say he bound Isaac.
In terms of a verb, but as a noun, it exists, or so it does not exist as a noun.
I would. He bound Isaac.
Okay, so it's a verb. So thank you.
Yeah.
When Abraham, bound Isaac, he secured his potential. He secured the one in Isaac. And what he did will influence the generations. In what way? Though Isaac now has twins, they inherit the one from what Abraham did in Mount Moriah. Esau, though he's like 376, he's peace, but his head, his holy head is holy. Where did he inherit this from? From where did he inherit the holiness of the head of the one of the potential? He inherited this quality from his father Isaac, that was, how do you say, bound together in Mount Moriah. If Abraham would not do it to Isaac, the head of Esau was not holy. Do we understand this kind of thinking?
I think so. Brad, it reminds me of something, I believe it was in Malachi, that talked about having godly children, by how the mother and father were bound in a covenant, so to speak, and out of this comes godly children. So I think I understand what you're saying, Eddie.
Thank you. And I would like to continue with this course of thinking, because Jacob got in his value 182. It's duality. He's named after the hills, and hills we have too. All his life is with duality for women, many children, but he makes a transition in the river of your book, and he gets a name, Israel. And listen, Israel, God is one. The call, the Shema calling. Listen, Israel, God is one. Do you understand how important was it to bind to? I'm sorry if I'm not using the right verb in English.
Oh, that's fine. So yeah, it's important because there's a blessing that's going through the generations, right?
Yes, he secured the continuity of following the one in this action.
Since that's happening, then it's not really up to us to judge good or bad then, right?
Yes.
It's really about the connection
Yes.
to the one. Everything else that goes on that has, when you're bound to the one, has its own purpose and its own merit, and it can't be judged from the duality then, right? Duality is good or bad, right or wrong, but since it's bound to the one, that the generations that follow, that judgment of it really is that everything is always good, no matter how it looks.
Yes.
So since Esau and Jacob are come out of this binding, their lives are in the structure of the one. What's happening, what they do, what they say, is meant to be.
Yes.
All right. Pretty profound.
Thank you. Yes, Fernando.
I just was wondering about our daily lives, because I can remember that once you said that, like, every day, one must think that everything comes from the one and returns to the one, like a daily prayer to bound everything to the unity. And when we bound this unity, like our merits, the things that we achieved and the things that goes not so well, but we bind it to the one, we go to the Moriah and to the Har Moriah, that is our mind and our heart maybe, and put it to the one. Maybe the fruits of it is peace, it's shalom, if you could stand this idea, because I can remember that once you brought this and had an impact on me, but it's been a while, so if you could say something.
What about to start?
Yes.
How do we start the day and how we complete the day? Yes, this is Rabbi Baruch. This is it, the two sayings? This is what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so when we start the day, we are saying this saying, Im en anili mili. This is how we start the day. Im en ani li mi li. If I'm not with myself, who will be with myself? Meaning, I have to wake. We wake up in the morning, and we go to the world like we are sovereigns. If I will not do this, go out to the world, bring salary or teach or something, nobody will do. and we take all the reins in our hands. In the morning, this is what drives us to go outside of home to our daily lives. But when we return, before we go to sleep, and we cross those hours at work or whenever, but the day has passed and now we go to sleep, and we are reviewing what happens, all these pictures, all the scenarios that we cross during the day, we admit and we say in front of the One that everything comes from Him. So we have, in a way, 2 feet or 2 notes in our pockets. If not me, who will do it? And in the evening, we're bringing everything to the One. That everything that happened, all the colors, all the gradients, all the scenarios, all the conversations, all the exchanges, they came to us from the One. Those are the 2 things. How do we wake up in the morning? With what fire? We have to go out and charge our mind and heart to go to the world. So if I'm not going to do it, who's going to do it? This is one saying when we leave the house in the morning. And before we go to bed, before we go to rest at night, we say, there is no power besides Him. En od milvado. En od milvado, meaning there's only one. And what we experience at this day, duality outside, there's no like few actors or few kinds of politics or different kinds of news. There's only one source that runs the show in front of us. So in the morning we say, if there is no one by me, who will be for me? So we go to the world. But when we return in the evening, we say there is no power, there is no source but Him. Is this what you mean, Fernando?
Yes, thank you. And I think that we can really, when you do it, it's all right. It's okay. We can love whatever happened.
It is very important to understand, maybe at night or in maybe a moment during the day, just a little moment, that though we experience life here, the life that we experience here, to their colors, comes from one source. And it's good to admit at least one day that those lives are coming from the source, and we admit it. It gives a lot of peace. And then we can start again. Not just at night. If once per day we admit it, it brings a lot of peace. And then we can stop and relax a bit and continue. Because what happens specifically in our times, there's a lot of uncertainty. It's not the 20th century. When people have pensions and everything is almost the same day, and just take a course in piano or in painting and nothing will move. Everything is moving and exponentially moving. And quantum jumps, we experience these quantum jumps in all fields, in learning, in economy, the situation of war at the moment in Europe. So it is very important, and some people get upset after 2 years of Corona. People thought that the sun will rise and everything will return to be as it used to be, but it's going in its way. And life are moving exponentially. And some people are terrified from the movement and the possibility, or from the scenarios. It's very important to stop one moment during the day and to say everything comes from Him, to have some peace and to continue. Thank you. Rodrigo?
Like just listen and try to follow. It's beautiful.
Question?
I
Yes?
just I just was thinking that I don't know it's possible
Yes.
because the verse that we read in chapter 25
Yes.
say that Isaac loves Esau,
Yes.
and I don't know uh, Isaac and Esau they are at the same side in the tree of life, right? The left side. I don't know if we can relate
Yes.
something with.
Yes. Isaac and Esau on the left side of the tree of life. This is excellent. Yes. 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 Isaac and Esau on the left side of the tree of life. That's correct. Yes.
There is affinity
Yes.
because they are in the same sides.
They share that you're right, they share the same qualities.
Yes.
Yes. In terms of structure, how do you say, Esau is the structure of Esau is 1 to 400. The structure of Isaac is 1 to 4. So they shared it when Abraham put his son on Moriah. He made him he made a structure of 1 to 4. This is very interesting. And Esau inherited this structure from him. Yes, and both are in a way 1 to 4 is the letter Hey. What is 1 to 4? When we write the letter Hey, the letter Hey is composed of Daled and Yod. So I'll move the board now and write it. They're sharing the same quality. 1 to 4. Hey is 5. Yes? But the Hey could be written from letter Daled and Yod. Or 1. Yod is 10, but we can take it as 1 and 1, 2, 4. So Isaac has it. But also Esau has it. He has it. The 1 to 4. The Gevurah, so to speak. Gevurah. The overcoming. Yes. Questions so far? Yes. Yes.
Esau seems to be representative of the direction of north as well, right? From what Weinreb writes.
Yes. Yes.
And you've got north and south, and north is red, and then he describes east as gold or yellow, and then west is blue.
Yes.
But south is white.
Yes.
And those are the 4 colors of 4 directions, so to speak. So it all has to be there.
Yes.
It all has to be. Esau has to be there, or the balance is not there. So balance is peace. So in his own purpose, in his own position, there's meant to be balance and peace.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. The people usually, because we're living in a bias perception that this one is good and this one is bad. In everything there is balance, and this is what we see also in the carnival. I was reading about it. Do you know what is the meaning of the word carnival? Carnival. Now there's in Brazil carnival, and here soon will be in 2 weeks carnival Purim. Do you know what is the meaning of carnival? In terms of etymology?
I think Weinreb said it, but I forgot what he said.
Carne is flesh, and val
Oh.
is or valeo, I think, is to remove the flesh. So what does
I
it
didn't
mean?
know that.
Yes, so what does it mean carnival, and why those celebrations are so bombastic all over the place? To remove the flesh or the carnal thinking or the material thinking, and then everything, like what Fernanda was saying at the beginning, everything changes. It's not what we thought it is. And let's say, and this, I read about the book and its description in the feudalism, used to be the landlords and they are setting the rules, or the Pope in the church, and so there's like a very hierarchical relations and everything is clear, who is what and who does when, and so. But in the carnival, everything opposites itself. The Pope is not a bishop, the bishop, and the poor is the rich, like in the story of Esther, in the book of Esther. The one who wanted to assassinate Mordecai was hanged by the king, and everything, reality opposite itself. This is the meaning of carnival. Remove the carnal thinking.
Very good. Love that. That's very good.
And I find it interesting that the carnival is happening according to the Hebrew calendar. This is the 12th month. If we count from spring and we go, 1 second, there's the cycle of the year. This is spring. And we go to like this, and we reach the 12th month Adar, 12th usually. And in the 12th, and this is when everything opposites itself, because 12th is the highest number in the clock, in the, how do you say, round clock. But it's the highest number. It's complete the matter. We complete the matter, but in the power of 2. Yes? 12 in the power of 2, we get 144, Adam or Emet. And this is the carnival. Remove what we think is the end of end. When we remove the carnal thinking, we see who's behind it. And this is also here, there is a wine feast, yes, and people drink deliberately they drink to get drunk. Why? And this is deliberately. Why?
Yeah.
Because we don't know anymore. There is no sovereign. Because we don't know, what we were thinking is good basically become bad, and what we thought is bad becomes good, and all the, how do you say,
Confusion.
yes,
The
all the
confusion.
parameters are changing. Parameters are changing.
Yeah. The parameters are changing. So they want to get drunk.
Yes.
Yeah, this carnival connection is fascinating that way. I have a friend, I call him Carnival Bob because he runs a carnival.
Mm-hmm.
But he drives the mail trucks, and he trained me in on it, on how to drive it and everything in the beginning. And but he runs a carnival during the summer, so he only drives mail trucks in the winter. But he sets up all these rides and everything, and the cotton candy and all that stuff every summer, and he goes all over the country with the carnival. But I will have a new perspective on Carnival Bob from now on. And he's a great guy. He's always thinking.
You know what comes to me when you were speaking? What is the difference between Esau and the tree of life? Let's do this mathematically. Rodrigo, do you have the numbers? Esau is 376 and the tree of
Yeah.
life is 233. What is the difference?
143.
143. 143. Does this structure of numbers remind us something?
One away from Adam.
One away from Adam. Very
Who's
good.
red.
So,
He's
yes. You see the relation between Esau and the tree of life. The one, as Fernando said before.
Eti,
Yes.
here you talking about the Adar and the carnival.
Yes.
Just came to my mind that 12 represents the end of a cycle,
Yes.
the possibility to assessing a higher level, the 13, the door to the 30.
Yes.
But if a person cannot, make that leap, that jump, go beyond matter, he is stuck in the flesh.
Yes. Yes. It's very interesting. Yes.
as long as we connect the one, to Esau, then we've got, he's human. He's human then. He's not just an animal, right?
Yes, but Esau, this is the thing. Esau is not historical figure. Each and every one of us has an Esau within himself. Each and every one
sure.
of us has a Jacob in himself. So each and every one of us has the aspect of a hunter. So some people hunt animals, or
Right.
some people would like to learn, and they look for books. So it is interesting because while looking at those names, not just as historical figure or plastic figure, when we abstract the qualities, we're reaching, how do you say, new perspectives inside of ourselves. Questions or reflections? See, I
Well,
think
I think what you're describing there is really the ability to accept all these aspects that are in ourselves. When we read about these characters in the Bible, we are reading about aspects that are in ourselves, and many times if we don't accept certain parts of ourselves, we can't accept them in other people.
yes,
Kind of that way. Your judgment on others is really an indictment on your own self, how you judge. The Bible talks about that. The measure you use to judge is how you'll be judged. And I think it's just saying that, if you can't come to peace and terms with these varying aspects within your own self, then you'll struggle with that somewhere along the line with somebody else. And they're actually like out there with that thing you don't accept to bring a test, to bring a growth. If you can suddenly have mercy and grace to someone else where there's a perceived shortcoming, suddenly you're able to release that in yourself, or the other way around. If you release it in yourself, you'll set another person free.
Yes, because each and every one of us has everything. We are more or less. I mean, we have like similar qualities with others. Sometimes in a higher volume, sometimes in a lower volume. Yes, it's true. It is true.
Because we can all relate to Esau in various ways,
Yes,
or Jacob in various ways.
that's true. It depends of which course of thinking do we take. We can take, the Bible says his name is Jacob because he was following or holding his brother's heel, and the value of Jacob is 180, 2, which is 2 times Elohim, but also heavens has the value Marom. So it depends of how we look at things. What I find interesting is that through the moments that we're crossing during the day, and sometimes we don't have easy moments, but if in those moments, sometimes good moments, but if specifically in the hard moments, I noticed that if we take ourselves from the equation of what is happening and we hear a word and we can abstract the word even in the most tough situation that we cross, there's a beauty comes through this connection. One word or one note in a hard time, if we connect to this note, to the word, it opposite reality on its face, and it's a beautiful moment of a live stream that comes from the darkest moment that we cross. Because if we cross, when we rescue the word or the abstract thinking from the darkest moments in our lives, what we are getting during the course of life are reference, are like footsteps of the tree of life. Because at the moment that we experience something as very dark, when we manage to abstract it, in a long run, we can see a reference, a footprint of the tree of life. Which when it happens in the moment, it's extremely darkness. And believe it or not, most of every conversation that we have here in the podcast and every lesson is a consequence of abstracting darkest moments. Some people think, oh, it's a nice flow. There's like lessons and pictures and mathematical and wisdom of thousands of years. And this is abstract of darkened moments of many, many generations that they managed to deliver this through writing, through poetry. They managed to decode those moments in Hebrew, because what happens is people could not live free in many circumstances, so they had to go inside of themselves, to another higher faculty, to another higher room, to another higher whole Heichalot, inner palaces inside, to withdraw more and more inside. And the more we withdraw inside, and also on our ancestors in the generations, they managed to bring the abstract wisdom. The more they were tortured, the more they had to go in. And the more they had to go in, they brought the flow from the tree of life. And this is what happens here. It's all those lessons, conversations are consequences of abstracting darkest moments. Shalom, House of Mar. Shalom. So every moment which is given to us, and it doesn't matter if it comes as a storm or as a sunny day, and sometimes we release words that we don't want to release, but the thing is, to understand that certain influence was given to us, a storm day or a sunny day with sweat, that we shall say certain things or we shall experience certain things, and it will move us to another realm. So if we don't judge the moment as bad, as dark, as beating us, maybe try to teach us, we see something else. And this is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, there's an old phrase, you can either get bitter or you can get better.
Yes.
And these challenging moments cause us to get better when we see that there's a connection to the one, a connection to the tree of life. There's a connection to the Lord. And, the Lord is guiding and steering and moving. And he didn't call us here to be comfortable all the time. It takes a little discomfort to get moving at times, so that you can be a witness or a testimony, be a light in the darkness. When love appears in darkness, love is bright, and people see something unusual then. When they're surrounded by hate, but then a beacon of love is in the middle of the hate, hearts are moved, they're touched. People don't really want to be in the condition of hate. Sometimes they just don't know how to be different. And then when they see the love, then they see something different and they start to change.
Thank you. Rodrigo, Fernando, would you like to say something? Anea? Victoria? House of Mar?
Eti,
Yes.
I just want to say something. I don't know if we can talk about this today, but knows maybe another time. The text that Jeff reads says that Isaac promised to give Esau his final blessing.
Yes.
And I just read in the Genesis 27, verse 4, the word of this final blessing, and I just try to understand the meaning of this, the symbolic meaning of this gesture, the blessing from Isaac, because look like the inheritance from Isaac to his son, that Jacob then received the blessing. But I just try to understand this gesture, just the meaning of this the symbolic meaning of this blessing. What I try to say, because I don't know, I believe that is a very important moment, and I just thinking about this, the final blessing that Jacob gives.
You mean receives from the father? What is?
Yes, Jacob receives. Is Isaac gives to Jacob.
So what is
Esau.
what is the meaning that
Yes.
Isaac gives Jacob the blessing and not Esau? This is the
What's the meaning of the blessing itself? This blessing specifically, because it looked like a very important moment. This blessing from Isaac that Esau should receive, but Jacob receive. Just I try to figure out to discover what is the symbolic meaning of this gesture from Isaac.
It's basically the movement of the tetragrammaton, because just to summarize, without going to the words of blessings, without going to the words and the essence of blessing, and what is the meaning, like Weiner speaks about the change at the last moment, that Rebecca, why does Rebecca change the outfit of Jacob? At the same moment, Weinreb says that Rebecca behaves like Eve. Eve before the cheating of the serpent, and then she understands she has to dress her son like in a special dressing. There's a beautiful quote on it on Slack. But the core of changing the sons, taking Jacob and not Esau, is simple. The value of this is simple mathematics. Isaac is 208. This is 8 times the tetragrammaton. Jacob 182, 7 times the tetragrammaton. Abraham, as you once show, is in a hidden way 9 times the tetragrammaton, and it moves from 9, which conceives the 8, and the 8, which is conceiving the 7. You see?
Yes. And then Joseph, 6.
And then Joseph, it goes to the 6. Yes. So what we see here, if we look at the tree of life in this structure, Abe is here with the 9 tetragrammaton. Isaac is here with 8. And Jacob is here with the 6. Sorry, with the 7. He's the 7. I'm saying 6 because it's also considered to be with the heart. Because the 7 also contains the 6. So this is the triangle that we have. This is the patriarch. This is 9, and then 8, and then 7.
Great, Etty. Thank you to remind me this very beautiful teaching. Etty, I need to say something before the class ends.
Yes.
Yesterday, my wife, Lisiane, commented to me how she thought it was wonderful when you sang Cat Stevens a few days ago, Father and Son. And she was delighted with your voice, singing like a bird, she said. And I agreed, and I said, I need to say this to Etty, how wonderful it is to hear you sing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Amen.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I would like to thank all of you for coming here. Without you, those things could never have happened. So I would like to thank all of you who participate in voice, in writing on YouTube, in asking questions, of bringing quotations from dictionary. There was a friend in California, she helped me with a binding. So thank you so much. Beautiful Adar, beautiful life, wonderful life with open heart, and we shall see each other on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, Etty. Shabbat Shalom to all. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Good to hear you.
Shalom.
Thank you so much.
See you on Monday. Shalom.
Shalom,
Thank you.
shalom.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
YouTube friends. Thank you, YouTube friends. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.